All right, great. Power flow 45. Let's start on our backs. So any shape that feels good to you, maybe you want to fidget or adjust for a moment, but coming to your back. I like to offer up the phrase or consideration of considering your whole body, your whole physical being. So sometimes we're like, yep, here's the shape, but then we're tensing in a few places. So for now, we'll do a little bit less before we do a little bit more. So trying to soften it into the support of the back body, maybe just giving yourself a moment to notice how it feels as you start to slow down and breathe. What sort of draws your attention? Let's take 6 more breaths. And if you're on some props, you're slowly going to come off them. If your legs are out wide or extended, you're slowly going to draw them in. We'll come into bridge prep with the feet wider than hip distance, arms out into a T, palms up, maybe even slide them a little bit higher to get a little sensation in the chest. And then just start that really slow windshield wipering action. So as always, you could sort of just drop and pause and linger on a side and breathe there a few breaths. Otherwise, maybe lift the knees up with your inhale. Exhale, find a twist. Again, inhale through center. Exhale, find a twist. But maybe try to deepen the breath a little bit as you pay attention to it. Connecting that breath-body connection that's so helpful and can be powerful at times. And a couple more passes side to side or even out from side to side. And we'll make our way back to center. Walk your feet closer together and draw one thigh into your chest followed by the other. You can keep your arms out, or you could wrap around those legs and give yourself a hug, but try to rock a little bit side to side. This is kind of a weird thing I do, but it always feels like it gives me more space. So I kind of rock to the left and draw my right glute forward, lengthening my right side body. Then I keep that as I rock to the right, draw my left glute forward. So it's like you're wiggling and creating some space in your side body. You can go really slow or kind of fast. But once you feel like you created some space, take your legs to a active tabletop. So knees are either over the hips or slightly closer. Feet are active in whatever shape that feels good to you. Start to squeeze your pelvic floor. Start to hug your navel back. And then think about those superficial abs. Try to squeeze them. So think lower ribs towards the pubic bone towards ribs, and then keep that. Or take our right hand to our right thigh or knee, wherever it feels like you could reach, and start pulling that right thigh into you. And then re-engage that pubic bone towards ribs, ribs towards pubic bone. Breathe. Great, and then flex your left foot. Try to fire up the left glute and hamstring, and then try to tap your left heel and or toes if you're pointing down to a hover. Keep engaging through the backside. Now keep trying to pull that right thigh into your right hand. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2. Squeeze your belly, left hip flexor, lift that left leg back up. We're going to slide both of our hands behind our head. You can keep your upper body down, or again, from that front body, think about the rib cage drawing towards the pubic bone, lifting your upper body up as high or as little as you'd like. But try not to take your chin closer to the chest, maybe even give yourself some space there. Active feet, squeeze your core. Front body. Extend that right leg out about 45 degrees. Try to flex that foot and push through that heel, skin to muscle, muscle to bone. Think about your right pec heading towards the inner left knee. So it could just be a subtle twist, but twisting at the spine. And then if you're lifting, think about lifting that left shoulder blade higher, not the right one, the left one that's kind of down on the ground. Great. Breathe for 5, 4, keep breathing. 3, 2, unwind. Pull that right leg in. Peel the upper body down, relax your feet, thighs in. Give yourself a hug and rock side to side. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Great. Legs to active tabletop. Left hand to left thigh. Start to push away. Start to pull back. Engage your pelvic floor, navel to spine. Right hand is wherever you'd like it for a moment. Squeeze sternum to pubic bone to sternum. Squeeze skin to muscle to bone. Try to fire that right glute and hamstring as you slowly take the right heel, or if you're pointing toes down to a hover, or keep pulling that left thigh back. Keep pushing it away. Breathe. 5, 4, I gotta breathe. 3, 2, squeeze the front body, slowly draw it back in. Great. Take your hands behind your head. Again, stay here or engage that sternum and ribs towards pubic bone to lift the upper body. Great work. Extending that left leg out about 45 degrees. Skin to muscle to bone. Push through your left heel actively. Left pec towards inner right thigh. Find that rotation in your spine, but hugging the front abdominals. Try to lift your right shoulder blade up, the one that's down. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Try to lift it up. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull back in, unwind your spine, and then lower, hug those knees in. Big breath in, big breath out. Great. You take your arms up to a T. You can take your legs up. You could point, flex, and roll around if you'd like to take more of a happy baby shape and check that out. We're going to move through 25 bicycles fairly slow. But for now, again, this idea of doing less for just a few more breaths. Your upper body can stay grounded the whole time, and you're really working from that lower rib cage all the way through the abdominals, hip flexors, and the tops of the thighs. So back to a active tabletop. Engage pelvic floor, navel back, squeeze those abs on top of it. Place your hands either behind your head or if you're staying lower, wherever it feels available. Great. If you're lifting your upper body, squeeze and lift those ribs towards the pubic bone. Try to give your throat a little bit of space. Kick your right leg out. Find that twist. Possibly lift left shoulder blade. Pull everything back to center as you unwind. Great. Find that kick out, that rotation, and then pull it back to center. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We actually need to do 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Arms to a T. Knees drop in. Relax your belly. Rock a little bit side to side. Great. Start that journey to tabletop. Close your eyes. Take some big, slow cat-cows. Feel free to pause and linger in your cow. It might feel nice on those front abdominals, maybe even into the upper thighs. Great. A few more rounds. Okay, back to more of a neutral tabletop. When you're ready, you can come closer if that's better for balance. We're going to kick our right leg back, curl your toes, and then shift that heel back and forward. So trying to get a nice stretch through the foot, the calves. Hopefully you can angle the heel a little bit more left, a little bit more right to hit those inner and outer calves. Great. And then find a little bit more shift forward. Float your right toes, bend your knee, pull that knee in towards your tricep, and then take that right leg out to the right. It doesn't matter if it's straight out to the right, back behind you, flat foot, inseam or heel. I really like to move around until I find a spot where I'm like, oh yes, this needs some breath and some awareness, right? Otherwise, some days I'm just moving the entire time. Try to relax your jaw, relax the features of your face. Take 4 more deep breaths. Great job. One more inhale, one more exhale. You're going to come back to a position where your shoulders are somewhat over your wrists or slightly behind. And we're going to take 3 really slow cat-cows. And once you get to that more neutral tabletop again, squeeze your belly, lean to the left and drag that right leg in. Take counterclockwise circles. Great job. And then take your knees down under your hips. We're going to push our right hand, turn your left palm upside down. You could shift back a little bit. You could shift forward and backward. You could just pause. Relax your jaw, relax your face. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Great, let your hips kind of dip out to the left as you push more through the right hand, and then just take that left arm out and explore with some movement. So you could open and close the fist, roll around through the wrist in both directions, all directions. Remember the elbow, and then maybe some big back strokes, nice and slow, or maybe you sort of paint a rainbow with your fingertips, forward and backward. But one more inhale, maybe look out and up. Exhale, take that left hand down, take 2 rounds of cat-cow. Move with your breath. Right, and then walk your legs a little bit closer together, shift forward to curl your toes, and then sink it back to a degree that feels like you can stretch your feet effectively. So some of us, it's just shifting forward and backward. Others of us, we walk back a little bit. It's not like the end goal is to be fully off of your hands, but if it's available, that's what you can do. Try to soften into the tension, either sort of like the dead center of it, or maybe just the superficial edges of it, right? See what's more pulling your awareness or what that sensation is feeling like. Take 3 more breaths. Notice the base of your skull, the tops of your shoulders. Can you just let them sort of melt away with your next exhale? Great. Start to make your way back to your hands if you're not already. Uncurl those toes, pat the tops of the feet. Great job. And then shift that left leg back and then hit that calf a little bit. So forward and backward through the heel. Hopefully that foot is nice and loose. Great, and then find more of a shift forward, lift that left leg, bend the knee to pull it in, open out and kick it out to the left. Might be different than the other side, so just being mindful of that and honoring the differences. Remember, foot could be flat, the inseam or up on the heel. You could be moving around the entire time. You could be on spider tip fingers. Just be curious. Keep breathing. Two more inhales, 2 more exhales. Great. Slowly make it back to hands down, shoulders somewhat over your wrists. Take 2 slow rounds of cat-cow. See if this is any easier than the other side, any more complicated. And then back to more of a neutral position. Sweep to the right a little bit with those hips to drag that left leg in clockwise circles this time. Great. With an exhale, put your left knee down. And then when you're ready, adjust your lower body so it's supportive and turn your right palm upside down. Still this movement, hinge back a little bit. Just keep breathing. Relax your jaw. Next exhale, bump those hips out to the right. Push the left hand to take the right arm out. Again, just a little bit of movement wherever you'd like. Fingers, wrists, elbow. And maybe near the end here, the last few breaths, take it into that whole shoulder girdle. Maybe there's still movement in the other places though. Don't overthink what it's supposed to look like. Great, one more big inhale. Exhale, hand and gaze down. Take one round of cat-cow and then head on back to your first down dog. Hit a little bit of everything here. If those wrists or forearms are already fatigued, try to shorten or widen the stance to get more effort in the lower body. But everybody keep breathing. Checking in with yourself, maybe checking in with those places that you automatically feel overwhelmed sensation-wise, challenge-wise, typically in down dog, especially the first time. Soften as much as you can with your next 2 breaths. We'll start to bend our knees, squeeze our bellies, and walk our hands back towards our feet. Eventually, heels drop. And then when they do a few rounds of halfway lifting, fingertips can come up to shins, shoulders out of ears. Exhale, soften. So effort on your inhale, ease on your exhale. One more time. Great, upper body nice and heavy, roll to rise, heels down, pelvic floor up, navel back. When your shoulders stack over your hips, roll up, back, and away. Great, do that at least once more. Great, roll your palms forward, take a couple breaths. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up, keep them up. Left hand to right wrist, tick-tock up and away towards 10. Jut those hips out to the side. Great, next inhale, reach up, flip your grip. Exhale, reach up and away to 2, jut those hips out to the left, bounce a little bit. Great, inhale, reach up. Exhale, arms out and down. Roll your shoulders up, back and away. Hands to your lower back, maybe fingertips are sort of on the upper glutes. And you're trying to roll your shoulders up, back and away. Hug like you've got an imaginary beach ball or exercise ball between your elbows. So just keep opening through the chest. Also notice if that's taking your tailbone out. You should get some feedback from your fingertips, right? So hugging that tailbone down slightly, not trying to hammer it all the way forward though. And slowly take your gaze, if you'd like, a little bit up, but don't force it. Keep breathing. Great, find one more inhale. Just kind of slink back to mountain, exhale. Great, 4 times with our breath. We're gonna inhale out and up and sit into our chair. Exhale, back to mountain. Great, 3 more times. Just move with your breath, nice and flowy here. Whole time you're inhaling, chair. The whole time you're exhaling, back to mountain. 1 more time. And then stand tall in your mountain. Great, when you're ready, inhale, sweep out and up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Great, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale out to down dog. Take a moment or 2 to fidget, but then try to lock and load into some stillness to notice whatever it is you notice. Heels are seeking the earth without yanking them. Shoulders, the upper version by the neck, soften. Breathing sort of intently in and out the nose, but trying not to scrunch the face or grit your teeth. Lift your heels, engage midline, roll forward to a high push-up. Adjusting that stance if you need to, or dropping down to your knees. We're going to take 3 breaths. Great, one more inhale, push the earth away. Exhale, lower to it. Forehead stays down, spider tip fingers out wide, toes towards the back corners of your mat. Squeeze your quads, tuck your tail, squeeze your belly. Great, stay like this, or inhale, you'll keep that activation and lift just a little bit. Exhale, lower just a little bit. So 3 more breaths, either moving with it or pausing with it, but everybody just keep that curious mind about how these shapes are now feeling. Lowering all the way down when you're done with your 3rd round. Hands under pecs, bend your knees, flex your feet. Heading up to a high push-up from your knees. Shift back to hit the toes and then make your way back to down dog. Paddle it out or stillness, keep breathing. Great, look between your hands, hop, jump, or step to the top. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. High mountain, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Lift heels, hug midline. Exhale to a high push-up. 3 breaths. Toes or knees. One more inhale, push away. Exhale, lower to it. Baby Cobra, a few rounds. Try not to use your hands. Try to engage from the navel down through those toes as you lift. Great, and then head back through that high push-up, bent knee, flexed foot with an exhale. Push yourself up, and then shift it back to hit your toes. Lift yourself back to down dog. Again, adjust to the more comfortable or neutral position for your down dog. And look between your hands. Hop, jump, or step to the top. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. High mountain, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Down dog, breathe out. Great, yogi's choice this round. Lift your heels, hug your midline, roll forward. You can lower halfway or to the earth. Back bend of your choice. And that journey back to down dog is yours. And take one more sunny on your own. Maybe keep your eyes closed. Definitely focus in on what you're feeling and where. Just be curious and grateful that you were able to show up and move your body with your breath this afternoon. Good job. When you're ready, we're going to need our block, at least one of them at the top of the mat. So transitioning a block near the top if it isn't already. We're going to step our right foot to a low runner's lunge. And we're going to use that block under our left hand. Any height works. First round, we're going to let the hips pop out to the side, and we're going to sort of just reach around through that right arm. So hips can pop out, find more of a stretch here. Maybe you just sort of hang off that right shoulder or pec. Great, now find more forceful effort through the center of your right heel and start to hug that right hip in. Maybe squeeze the inner thighs a little bit, and then take more of a cactus arm position and tuck your chin. Great job. One more big breath in. Exhale, start to reach forward, look forward, and then take your hands down and your gaze down. So if your stance is super long and you need to hop that left foot forward, please do. If you need to adjust for the block, please do. Otherwise, spider tip fingers or use that block accordingly. You could sway that left or right sit bone side to side a little bit or just pause. Keep breathing. Great, we're going to move between these two shapes. So it might take a few rounds to get sort of in sync, but we're going to be inhaling, lifting your left heel, opening into more of an active twist. Exhale, reach forward and then sink it down and back. Inhale, find your opening and shift forward. Your whole exhale, sink it back, take that arm and gaze down forward. Great. If this is just too much for one breath, then add a couple breaths, right? Don't overthink it. Great. 2 more rounds. You're doing a little bit of everything we've already been working on. One more time, opening. One more time, sink it back, and then move that block out to the side. We're going to open up to Prasarita. Start to bend your left knee, walk more to the left. Tuck your chin and shift heel to toe, hopefully hitting that inseam of that right leg. Great job. Find some stillness. Look to the left or hug in, and then maybe that left arm heads to cactus. Tuck your chin if it does. Spread your fingers if they're lifted. Great. One more inhale. Everybody hand and gaze down. Inhale, walk through center. Exhale, low runner's lunge. Spider tip fingers out wide and forward. Drive your right heel and come up to tippy toes on that left foot. Maybe they drag forward. And then slow, slow, slow standing leg split. Bend and open. Great job. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, slowly squeeze your belly knee to knee, thread left foot behind right foot. Block should be available. If you'd like your block, go ahead and grab it and lift up a little bit. You could shift your butt back and your chest, arms forward. You could stay in stillness. You could stay more upright and keep your head above your heart. We'll take 2 more breaths. Great job. One more inhale. Bend your knees, come off the block. Exhale, move it to the side. Unthread your feet. Halfway lift when you're ready. Breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Great. Roll to rise. Take your time. When your shoulders stack over your hips, roll them up, back, and away. Great. Do that one more time with your breath. And take a little bit of a balance challenge. Hopefully that right heel feels glued to the earth after all that work. So your hands can either be on your front hips or on the sides of your hips, and you can palpate for just at least a setup, and then you decide. We're going to do a balance challenge. So lift your left heel, push to that right heel, and try to keep your right hip hugging in. And then come up to tippy toes, keep hugging in. But we want our hands to give us feedback that we're not just hiking up this hip in order to lift it, right? So kind of parallel with those hips. And then float your left toes. They could be hugged into your calf. That might be the easiest. Or they're just floating or floating and lifting. But we're going to check our balance. Take your gaze straight forward. Now take it fairly quickly to the left. Great. Back to center. Great. Fairly quickly to the right. Great. Back to center. Fairly quickly up. Back to center. Fairly quickly down towards your toes. Back to center. And release your left foot. Stand tall and neutral. Inhale your arms up, look up. Exhale, flow. Great job. Toes together. Sweep your right leg back, bend and open. Lift and drop your left heel. Great. Next time you lift your left heel high, breathe in. Squeeze your knee to your nose, step between your hands. Spider to fingers, inhale. Sink it back, exhale. Great. Inhale, shift it forward. Exhale, start to rise slowly to crescent lunge. Just keep breathing, keep breathing, keep breathing. Tone that left glute, reach up nice and tall. Lift your left heel up too. Inhale here. Warrior two, exhale. Adjust your foundation. 3 times with your breath, move. Lifting as you breathe in, settling as you breathe out. After your 3rd round, find a big reverse, flow, or straight to your down dog. Spread your fingers, push the earth away, relax to the jawline, the upper shoulders, the sides of the neck. Great, when you're ready, left foot's gonna take a big step to your low lunge. Find your block. Again, maybe you wanna shorten up that distance right now. Maybe you need to once you start moving. But we're gonna be letting the hips pop out to the left. And that left arm's kind of just reaching, or finding a little bit more of a stretch here. Just checking out these tissues. Great, now we're gonna try to strengthen them a bit. Drive your left heel down, hug your left hip in. Maybe those inner thighs zip together a bit, and your left arm comes to more of an active cactus, meaning your fingertips are spreading actively. Tuck your chin, reach your crown forward. Breathe. Great, you're gonna start to inhale, reach forward, look forward, and then exhale, kind of sink it back. And then we're pausing here to set up some muscle memory. Remember, blocks are available, spider tip fingers are available. Just see how and where the block can be the most helpful. We'll take a couple more breaths here. Great, then find a shift forward as you start to inhale. Take that cactus arm, tuck your chin, spread active fingers, and then your exhale, reach forward, look forward, and then sink it all the way back. Your inhale, take it forward, open. Your exhale, look forward, reach forward, sink it back. 3 more times. Move with your breath. If it feels like it's too much, just keep breathing, but start and end the movements with those inhales and exhales if you can. Great job. One more time, opening, and then sink it back. Pausing and that sinking back. Ditch the block out to the side. Open up Prasarita. Bend your right knee, start walking more to the right. And then rock a bit, heel to toe, tuck your chin and breathe. Great, find some stillness here. Look to the right. Option to engage into that midline and maybe take the right arm to cactus. Still kind of tucking that chin and spreading your fingers active. Definitely breathing. Great, one more inhale. Exhale, hand and gaze down. Inhale, slowly straighten and walk through center. Exhale, low runner's lunge. Shifting forward, spider tip fingers walk out wider. Drive your left heel, maybe drag the right toes, but slow journey to standing leg split, pushing down to lift up, then bend and open. Great job. One more big breath in here. Exhale, squeeze that midline, knee to knee, and thread right foot behind left foot this time. Blocks are great. Find them. Set it up how it makes the most sense in your body, especially for this side. Good. Take one more inhale here. Bend your knees to come off your block. Unthread your feet. Move that block to the side. Halfway lift at least one time with your breath. Exhale to fold. Slow journey up to mountain. Shrugging those shoulders up, back, and away, or sweeping your arms up. We'll meet in mountain. Good job. Hands to the front of your hips or to your hips to get that feedback so that we're not lifting sort of dramatically through a hip. Left heel is going to stay down this time. Right heel up, hug into that outer left hip. Great. And then try to lift to tippy toes. Try to float your toes. Again, they can come in towards your calf. Set your gaze. Try to keep it. Breathe. Okay, we're going to look rather quickly to the right. Back to center. Keep breathing. Rather quickly to the left. Great. Back to center. Rather quickly up. Back to center. Rather quickly down. Back to center. Take a big breath in. Mountain pose. Feet stand nice and strong and rooted through both feet, palms and hearts open. Inhale, so we got enough. Exhale, flow. Great job. Toes together. Sweep that left leg back, bend and open. Maybe lift and drop that right heel a little bit. Next time you lift it, do it with an inhale and then exhale, squeeze knee to nose, step between your hands. Spider tip fingers, inhale, sink it back, exhale. Great, inhale, shift it forward. Exhale, start to push down and rise up slow, slow, slow to crescent. Take your time, pressing down to lift up. Great, kind of reaching of your fingers, a lifting of your right heel. Breathe in. Warrior two, breathe out. New foundation when it's set, 3 times with your breath. Move. Great, reverse after your third round. Flow or straight to down dog. Right, big breath in, big breath out in your down dog. Your right foot's going to step between your hands. Spider tip fingers or find that block and then drop down to your left knee or upper thigh. We're going to try to come to the top of our left foot, so the toenail side, top of your left foot. Yeah. And we're going to try to zip our pelvic floor upward, navel backward, chin into chest. So if you need a block and it's a little bit more accessible for you, but I'm energetically trying to push through the top of my foot. So some days my knee lifts up, other days it doesn't, but we're pushing down and breathing, hugging into that midline, working that hip flexor like we're trying to cut through the ground. Breathe, breathe, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2. Push one more time. Inhale. Exhale, soften and let go of that effort. Great. Stay nice and low. Come up to a block, your thigh or hands to the sky, just depending on how you're feeling in your body. I will say once we come off the earth, make sure that there's that pressing down, hugging in, and lifting up effort so that we're not just clunky on that left knee, right? So wherever you are, take 2 more breaths. Great job. Come all the way back to your hands if you're not already. Come to the top of your left foot if you transition, and then walk it back. Pop to your right heel this time. Should hit a little bit different part of the hamstring. Shift forward and backward if that's really intense. If you feel like you have tight IT bands or lateral hips, shift back, pause, and then sweep those hip bones back into the left toes. Pop out to the right, tuck your chin. Everybody breathe wherever you are. Good job. If those sit bones are back and left, draw them straight back, toes pop up, walk it forward. Curl your left toes, lift your left knee, walk it out to Prasarita. Start to bend that left knee, walk more to the left. Shift heel to toe, tuck your chin. Great, stay here or look to the left or sweep that left arm to cactus or out and away. Big breath in. Exhale, hands and gaze down wherever you are. Inhale through center. Exhale, low runner's lunge. Great, taking it to a really slow, deliberate standing leg split. Drive your right heel. Maybe you drag the left toes to start. Great, bend and open. Squeeze your midline with your next exhale. Knee to knee, thread left foot behind right foot. Find that block if you'd like. We'll take 3 breaths. Great, next exhale, soften your knees. Come up your block, unthread your feet. And breathe in halfway. Breathe out, fold. Roll to rise, take your time. Up to high mountain or just roll the shoulders when they stack over your ears. Take your hands behind your back, roll your shoulders up, back and away, drop left ear to left shoulder. Right up, lift the crown of the head, release the bind. Feet will be at least hip width distance. We're gonna take that chair, inhale, mountain pose, exhale 4 times. So when you're ready, inhale, so you've got an up sit. Exhale, back to mountain. Feel nice and grounded in your feet, in the lower body, a little bit of ease and lightness in the upper body. One more time. Good job. Hands to the front of the hips or on the hips. Drive through your right heel, lift the left one. Hug into that right hip without hiking up the left hip too high. Great. And then floating, you can hug it in. We're going to move really slow this round. So start with the gaze forward. Hopefully something's not moving too much in front of you. Now slowly start to take it like you're drawing a line. Try not to jump, jump, jump. Just keep drawing a straight line until you get to your toes. Keeping your chin tucked in, we're going to start to roll our gaze out to the right. Slow, slow, slow. And try not to jump the eyes if you can. Just notice if you can sort of even that out and then start to look up. The degree in which you do is up to you. Try to draw that smooth line versus jumping sort of hard. And then roll it all the way to the left. Back down towards your big toes. Slow, slow, slow. Once you get there, take a big breath in. Left foot down, exhale. You can sway it out a little bit side to side. When you're ready, arms by your sides. Inhale, sweep out and up. Exhale, flow or straight to down dog. Good job. Right foot steps, warrior 1. Haven't been here yet. Just going to hit warrior 1, warrior 2, extended side angle for a handful of breaths. Feel free to reverse, feel free to move a little bit, but extended side angle when you're ready. Any version, just be curious and breathe. Great, drive that right heel, look down, lift yourself back to 2. Inhale when you're ready, reverse. Down to a low lunge and take a twist. Haven't done this in a bit. Great job. Bend your left knee, take your hand and gaze down. Try to sweep back to a 3-legged down dog. Bend and open. Okay, and then release big toe to big toe. Sweep that left leg back. Bend and open if you'd like. Lift your right heel, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, step between your hands. Spider tip fingers, breathe in, sink it back, breathe out. Great, inhale, shift it forward. Exhale, drop down to that right knee or upper thigh. Again, blocks can be used here. We're gonna come to the top of our right foot. So we're gonna try to energetically press down through the top of our foot, engage your pelvic floor, navel's back, chin is tucking, press down and breathe. 5, keep pressing, breathing. 4, 3, 2, inhale, push down. Exhale, soften into that. Soften, soften, soften the front of the hip, the quad, the belly. Great job. Slowly starting to walk backward, popping to your left heel. If this is really intense, forward and backward a few times. If you tend to have IT bone or lateral hip stuff, sink it back, pause, and then sweep those sit bones to the back right corner of your mat. Toes might pop out to the left. Everybody relax your face, tuck your chin, and breathe. Great, sit bones back, toes roll up, walk it forward. Curling right toes, lifting right knee, open up Prasarita. Start to bend that right knee, walk more to the right, heel to toe, heel to toe. Stay here or look to the right, maybe take the right arm up. Inhale here. Exhale, hand and gaze down. Inhale through center. Exhale, low runner's lunge. Spider tip fingers reach forward, come up to tippy toes in the right foot, drag it or drive that left leg and lift when you're ready. Standing leg split. Bend and open. One more inhale here. Exhale, squeeze your belly knee to knee, thread right foot behind left. Find that block and take 3 breaths. Great, one more inhale. Soften your knees, fingertips to the earth, unthread your feet. Halfway lift at least once. Exhale to fold. Roll to rise or fly up to high mountain. We'll meet in mountain. One last balance challenge. Take our hands behind our back, roll your shoulders up. I can lay right your right shoulder this time. Great, lift your crown, release your butt. And then hands to the front of the hips or on the hips. Left heel down, left hip in, lift your right heel. Tippy toes. Float them. Again, they can come into the calf. It's a little bit easier that way. Take your gaze forward, keep it, and then try not to jump, jump, jump. Just draw a smooth line as you keep breathing straight down in front of you until you sort of hit somewhere around your big toe. Keep that chin tucking. We're going to roll the gaze to the left this round. Slow, slow, slow. Try not to jump with the eyes. Start that journey up again. As high of a gaze that feels okay or available to you in your neck. Keep breathing. Try not to dart the eyes too much. Up and away to the right. Slowly back towards your big toes. It's supposed to be challenging. Eventually forward. Take an inhale there. Exhale, right foot down. Right, let's take those feet wider. Maybe just rock a little bit side to side. Maybe close your eyes. Maybe sway your arms a little bit. Just noticing what you notice. Slow down those movements. Take your feet more hip width distance. Close your eyes and breathe. Okay, inhale your arms out and up. Exhale, flow or straight to down dog. In your down dog, spread your fingers wide, push the earth away, bend your left knee out and let your right heel kind of settle back and away. Right sit bone's gonna reach up and away. Great, lift both heels up. Exhale, other side, right knee bends, left heel sinks down. Reach that left sit bone up and away. Great, inhale, lift both. Exhale, drop both. And then lift both, step left foot to warrior 1. Opening to warrior 2. A little fidgeting, lift and drop, or just settle right into extended side angle. Again, we're not gonna be here that long. Great, look down, press down, rise back to 2. Inhale to reverse when you're ready. Last twist here, last big movement. Exhale, hand and gaze down, bend that right knee to help. Try to sweep that left leg back, bend and open, three-legged down dog. Right, big toe to big toe, drop down to your knees, take a round of cat-cow. Close your eyes and notice what you notice. See how you'd like to enter practice. If you'd like to come to a seated meditation, if you'd like to come to your back and take a twist, or if there's a hip stretch that you really like, but the last 2 minutes are up to you. So started on our backs, pulled that energy up. Now allowing it to sort of fade back down to the earth. This idea of loosening your grip here on the effort and the external superficial, think about around your skin. And that fascial bodysuit right underneath the skin. And anything you're doing, do it a little bit less, right? Noticing the muscles, and it's considered the meat body. Try to soften that, relax it away from the bone. Making sure that you even out from side to side if there's any effort still needed. Scanning the body for those go-to places of tension or resistance. Seeing about softening just a little bit more there. Take 3 more deep breaths. Noticing the center of your chest, your heart center. Notice if there's any tension there, if there's an expansion. As you breathe in, and can you soften there a little bit as you breathe out? Maybe let the breath get a little bit deeper as long as that doesn't make you feel at all anxious. And start to invite any movement anywhere else you'd like. Feeling free to stay in the shape that you're in, staying on your back as long as you'd like, or over the next 10 breaths or so, kind of waking yourself up physically in order to come to a seat. But there's no rush, and however you end, there's no right or wrong. Relaxing through your midline, whether you're seated or not, as much as you can. Allowing your spine to support you either in a seat or as the foundation as you lie on your back. Taking your hands to your heart, either palm to palm or left hand down and right hand on top. Tucking your chin, honoring your practice and all your efforts this afternoon. I thank you. Deep breath in. Namaste. Thanks, ladies.